Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV late night after hours edition. I thought I'd do this little hour set and talk about the day's events, talk about people who think we're not in a relegation battle and Leeds United are not a part of us, which is borderline crazy. Chuck your comments in, anything you like. I'm here for an hour. You know how it works on the after hours. Anything goes. So yeah, um, it's been a bit of a mad one, man. Been a bit of a mad one. Not gonna lie. The Leeds result earlier, I literally done my nut completely. I could not believe Liverpool literally gave it away. Um, it was a bit of a mad one, and to draw 3-3 and get another point, yeah, it's going to be hard work, ladies and gentlemen. But we are here to talk about it. Yes, late night. Let's go. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd do this one. I've got a bottle of Jack Daniels here. I've got the Coca-Cola down there. So we're going to talk about anything you like, ladies and gentlemen. And chuck your comments in. I'll read them out and we'll have a good conversation or so. Anyone who wants to come on, the link is in the chat. Come on, have your say. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been wrapping presents up today. That's been my thing. I've done over 40 presents today, literally in this room. And trust me, if I was to turn the camera around, it is like Santa's grotto at the minute. But nevertheless, I've been rapping and rapping and rapping, and I haven't been singing. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Let's get to this comment. Neymar to West Ham. I see a clip on TikTok, and some kids it's just clipped up Nick, and yeah, started to go in a little bit. But I'm saying nothing. Listen, if Neymar turns up at West Ham, then great. But other drugs are available. That's what I'm going to say because it ain't going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Lawrence, how you doing, mate? Hope you're all well all the way over in America. Do you know what I'm saying? And Lexington, Kentucky. Oh, mate, do you know what? When he says that, I always fancy a Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Let's get to this one. Who's your top three West Ham players of all time? Oh, that's a good question. Julian Dix, Paolo Di Canio, and who's the other one? I ain't gonna say Rice because he was only here a few years and he's left. Do you know what I did used to like? I really did. I used to like Al Berkovic. I used to really like Al Berkovic growing up. Thought he was a little diamond player, but also like Trevor Sinclair and all from like that era. I don't know who would be the third one. Who would be the third one? I've got to say Nobes, isn't I? Gonna have to say Mark Noble as the third one, really. But you know, yeah, we've had a lot of crap over the years, but you know, it is what it is. Berkovic or Ben Ayoun? It's got to be Berkovic for me, mate. I thought I was great, apart from when he had a good kick in from Johnny Artson. That was about it. But nevertheless, he was good. He was good. Right, let's talk about it. Obviously, earlier on, Leeds got a point, and I put a tweet out as I always do, and I turned around and said that what I've been saying on here for a long time is they are up for it. They're up for the fight. They're up for the challenge, and they're up for trying to stay in this league. Man, the comments I've got people saying, "Oh, you're embarrassing. It's what we do." Don't people realise that if they start winning games and we don't, then we're in the shit. Do you know what I'm saying? That even though they got a draw today, that's still a good point against Liverpool side that we didn't even look like scoring against at all. Like we made Liverpool look great the other week, absolute great, and since then they drew with Sunderland and withdrew with Leeds. And Leeds, in the space of a week, have picked up 4 points against Chelsea and Liverpool. So we've got to put it into context, man. We really have. Tomorrow's tough, right? We're going to go to Brighton. We've got to get some sort of result against Brighton. We have to. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, Brooking, Bonds, and Devonshire. GP's in the house. Hope you're well, mate, wherever you are. What was that? We went down 0-3 with 43 points, and we played better in 0-3. In 0-3, we played a lot better. And I remember it in 0-3 because I remember it was like Champions League form. Unbelievable. Do you know what? You can't beat a Bourbon. You know what I'm saying? You really can't. You can't beat it. Do, 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 do. Look, you can't beat a bit of Jack Daniel's finest. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, what else we got here? Let's have a look. I hated it, but Leeds are playing hard. They are. They're looking like a real outfit, real unit, and they look good. I'm gonna be straight. Right? They look like they at home. I don't think Leeds are going to lose many games, right? And with us at our home form, I think we would do. Do you know what I mean? Get to Larry's comment again. What's your thoughts on Paqueta starting tomorrow? I done a preview earlier on today, and I said it on the preview, and I say it here right now. Yeah, if he starts and he doesn't perform, then Nuno's going to get a lot of stick. Simple as that. Nuno's going to get a hell of a lot of stick. He's going to get called out straight away because then it becomes favouritism then. And we can't be having passengers. On Thursday night, there was no passengers at West Ham. Not one, right? I thought everyone put a shift in, everyone knew their jobs, knew what they had to do, etc. If Lucas Paqueta turns up on the South Coast tomorrow, starts and puts in a half-assed performance, then questions need to be asked of Nuno. Say, well, what are you seeing then? Do you know what I mean? Oh, 6 days ago, we was all told that he's struggling with his mental health, right? And then not even a week's gone by, and now he's back in the side again. I don't get it. I really don't. Somerville has posted he's in the squad. If Somerville's in the squad, then great. We need all hands on deck tomorrow. Like tomorrow, if we get a draw tomorrow, it ain't the be all and end all. Right? My attitude is on this, and I see people going, "Oh, we need to win." Yeah, right. We need to win. What we need to do is make sure we stay close to Nottingham Forest and Leeds. I can't believe Forest are we are 3 points behind Forest, which um, with their European campaign. And listen, Forest are a team that no one's really mentioning at all. Right, I'm mentioning more Leeds. I'm looking at Leeds more than Forest. But if they start kicking into gear in their European campaign, can they manage both? Something's going to have to be sacrificed. Now, will it be the European campaign or will it be the Premier League? Now, Forest today, Everton absolutely rolled them out the ground. I mean, completely rolled them apart. So it's going to be interesting to see how West Ham cope tomorrow. Do you mean the press is on us? Like, we need to go there and get something. And I actually do believe West Ham might go there and get a draw tomorrow. I don't think West Ham beat Brighton. I'll be very shocked if West Ham go to Brighton and win. I really will. Um, Steve is in the chat. Evening, James. I'm getting pissed off with people saying respect the point from the other day. For fuck's sake, we are 3 points from safety. We need to win because I can't see us getting anything from Villa or City. Against United, 1-0 down, coming back, drawing 1-0. I respect that point, mate. I'm going to be straight. The Bournemouth one is the one where it irritates me massively. Like the Bournemouth game is the one where I look at it and I go, well, we was 2-0 up and we've just completely let it go. Right, just completely let the game go. Why did we let it go for? Like, what was the reason? There was no reason. And for it to go the way it went, 2-0 up, and we was in control of that game, and then we give it away. To then go and play Liverpool side, who was fucking absolutely awful. And I watched that game tonight, yeah. What's his name? Who's the geezer at centre half? Kanate, is it? Yeah, Kanate, I think his name is. Absolute pile of shite. Like literally the biggest load of shite I've ever seen in my life. And he goes sliding in, gives them a penalty, builds up a head of steam. Do you know what I mean? Absolute rubbish. Shout out to Larry. Thanks for the show. Love our hammers. Thank you very much, mate, for the $9.99. Goes a long way. Keeps the streams coming. You know what I mean? Pays for the stream yard. Do you know what I'm saying? I would love that, Troj. Let's at least try the youth. We listen. One thing we Nuno that I will say, he has been trying the youth, hasn't he? He has. Like he brought on Kante the other day, and I thought he looked all right. there's so many times where West Ham need to be like looking at bringing in better players. My issue with West Ham right now is I'm waiting until January. So whatever happens from now to January, right? All West Ham have got to do for me, points, right? Just get points. Just keep getting the points till you get to January. The only problem is, am I hoping for a massive January sort of sort out with this owner? That's the problem, right? That's the real problem, because we all know as West Ham fans right now that we need major surgery in January. We need players to come in. We need players to perform if they're coming in. You know, I don't know. I don't know. And I think the way it is going at the minute, it's going to be. I've got a feeling Forest are going to get out of it. I think it's out of us and Leeds. I've stood by that, and I will. Like, I really do. Well, let's get to Stevie's comment. Getting a point here and there is not going to keep us in the Prem. 3 wins we've had in 14 games. A point tomorrow keeps us in the bottom three. Yeah, but we ain't going to get relegated tomorrow, mate. The aim is to be as close to Leeds as possible come January. But my plan of action is this, right? Get close to Leeds come January the 1st. If we are 3 points behind Leeds, it's game on, right? As long as we're not 7, 8 points behind them, that's all what matters. The issue is tomorrow, if we go to Brighton and we draw, I'm not going to be overly mad because we don't win there. Right? We just don't win there. And what it is, we've got to respect some of these teams, right? These teams are better teams than us. They are better footballing sides than us. They've got better players than us, and we are shite at the minute. And we are literally blagging it to a point, but we're going through the fucking motions at present. So we've got to put it into context right now that what we are is what we are, right? And we are a bottom three, bottom four side. Come January the 1st, I expect spending in at this club. I really do. Will it happen? Probably fucking not. Not under Sullivan's reign. Constantinos is the reason they come back into the game. They wouldn't have scored. Geezer is pony. Yeah, mate. Let's get to Keith Knight. Shout out to you, mate. I hope you're well. Go 1-0 down, start playing football. Go 1-0 up, stop playing football. What the fuck? Do you know what? That's a great comment. That's a superb comment. I completely agree on that. Amount of times I've seen West Ham this season, right? Ideally, Bournemouth, 2-0 up, stop playing. Just stop playing and thought, you know what, that's it. Then against Manchester United, we did come out and we did at least try and have a go against them, but this just wasn't meant to be, was it? But I'm not disillusioned by the Man United game. I really ain't. Aces is in the chat. He's disappointed today. Arsenal didn't win. Easy Seagulls victory tomorrow. I don't know about that, Aces, but we're gonna find out tomorrow if West Ham are back or not. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's a draw tomorrow. I think West Ham go there, set up, become hard to beat. Then it is what it is. Let's get to Steve Tilly's comment. He's coming back in. He's firing ammo at me. I'm prepared for it. Also, come on, anyone who believes Sullivan's going to spend on quality in January, you're deluded. That's my biggest fear, mate. That's my biggest fear. It's either going to be 2 loans or it's going to be 2 loans and Toure from Fulham on a cheap one. That's what it's going to be. The issue is it going to be enough? I've always stood by this, what I've said, right? And I don't say things for the fucking sake of it. I say it because I believe what I'm saying. I've always said that West Ham will always fight to the end, no matter what. Whatever this like scenario, West Ham always go down fighting. The issue is, will they run out of games by the time these players come in and bed into the club? Right, this so many buzzwords I hear, right, and it does drive me fucking mad. I've heard Lucas Paqueta's world class. Lucas Paqueta's good on his day, right? Well, I don't know when his fucking day is because his day hasn't been good for a hell of a long time. And I hear these buzzwords, and I think what it is with me is I'm not a media person. Right, I'm not. I'm just a Joe Blogs. I'm just a geezer just sitting in front of the camera giving you my opinion on West Ham United. And when people keep using these buzzwords for effect, it fucking irates me. It really does. It grinds into me a little bit because I think you're talking absolute shit. Do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain issues. Excuse me. If we go down, it's all on Nuno. The Leeds and Brentford game games, and the Bournemouth one will come back to haunt us. Listen, mate, right, we're not down yet, right? One thing with me, I need to see West Ham stay up, right? If we do go down, there's going to be a lot of issues. The first, if West Ham do go down, right, the first person that needs to be blamed before anyone is David Sullivan. David Sullivan needs to be first on the hit list, right, of why West Ham have gone down this season. I I stand by this. Yeah, it'd be 2 years at the end of this season that we got rid of Moyes and we brought in June Lopetegui. That falls on fucking Sullivan for me. Right, that falls on Sullivan. So first things first, it'd be Sullivan. Then it go. Then you go through the line of the team, and then you get to Nuno. You know what I mean? Let's see what Samuel's got to say. Daniel Welbeck will score a hat-trick against West Ham United at the Amex tomorrow afternoon. Well, thank you for your kind comment, Samuel. Do you know what I mean? Thank you for letting me know that he's not even playing tomorrow because he's currently injured. So, yeah, there you go. Samuel's in the know. You know what I'm saying? I have a sneaky feeling that a 1-1, we will get a Souček special at the end 2-1. Well, as long as it ain't like it was last year, mate. Last year was painful. Painful. Let's all go back to last year. 1-0 down from a screamer, 2-1 up with about 5 minutes to go. We ended up losing the game 3-2. I've never felt so angry in all my life when that goal went in and we lost that game 3-2. Fucking outrageousness. Absolute outrageousness. What else we got? Let's have a look. No's offensive, but fuck Paqueta when he plays playing for the team in the back. See, I agree on that. I really do. The amount of people that keep defending Paqueta, and you know what? Tomorrow could go really bad. You know, because if, for argument's sake, West Ham get rolled, right, and it could happen at Brighton, right, because we just don't seem to perform there, right. Then he's going to be looked at massively. Lucas Paqueta is going to be looked at and go, well, what's he done, right, to warrant his start? And then people will start picking apart the team. My issue tomorrow is, are we going to be good enough to go there and make sure we don't lose the game? I hope so. I really do. Let's get the Samuel's comment. Obviously, a Man United fan. David Sullivan and Karen Brady are another version of the Glazers. I think they're worse than the Glazers, mate. Absolute worse than the Glazers. So, you know, he is overrated, mate. He is. Yeah, I mean, I've got to eat a bit of humble pie myself. I really do. Because I turned around and I wanted to keep him at the club. I wanted to keep him at the club for another year. But after that, the other week, I just can't forgive him for that. I really can't. And people are so easy to forgive and forget. But I can't. I really can't. I can't forgive him for what happened at the Liverpool game. And it's not so much him getting sent off, even though he was a fucking idiot. It's the aftermath of it that I don't like. And that's what grates on me more than anything. But people just love mediocrity. That's what it is. They love this sort of, he'll do a trick and a flick, but he'll do fuck all else. But then Thomas Souček will throw his face in front of a ball if it means he's going to get a kick in the mouth, and people think, no, you're shit. Like, and I agree with Lawrence on this. I really do. Right. Thursday we saw some heart in the club. I completely agree on that. I watched that game here. I was happy with the commitment. They didn't stop running, didn't stop trying. Is that going to be enough though? Is that going to be enough? Now, tomorrow, Brighton is going to be a different kettle of fish because I'm not sure what their result was in the week, but I know it might have even been against Villa. They actually lost 4-3 to Villa. So they are susceptible to goals at the minute. The issue is, I don't think we've got enough goals in us. I really don't. I don't think we've got enough goals. I don't think we've got 2 or 3 goals in us. Especially against that sort of side. If I was a spaceman, I'd go and play for the lower league team and tear it up. Mate. Do you know what? I put something up earlier, yeah, about it. I'll tell you what I wrote. Let me find it. Because sometimes I think I've got to get off fucking Twitter because it's just for the fucking degenerate fucking pricks. But something keeps pulling me back into Blighty. Right, this is what I wrote earlier on. I wrote, I will keep saying it. Leeds United are well up for the fight to stand the league. Right, tomorrow is the same as Thursday at United. Get a point minimum. West Ham, right? If West Ham keep nicking points after points, yeah, come January we can, you know, go down that path. I can't believe Liverpool was 2-0 up and 3-2 up and drew. Chiarte is absolutely fucking useless. Twats a lot of them, right? And I got West Ham fans saying to me, "Oh, right, you keep blaming other teams." Well, hold on a minute, right? If we're all sitting here, if West Ham and Leeds both won every game from now to the end of the season, West Ham would go down. Like, that'd be it. So, like, come on, it's madness. The reason I have no confidence about tomorrow is lately we have played poor Liverpool and a poor United team. In both games, we only had 2 shots on target. See, I agree with you on that. I really do. I really do. Right, let's get to this because this is a good comment from Keith. He blamed it on mental health. So how is he mentally fit to play? He needs to shit miracles for us tomorrow, or there's no way back for him. See, that is comment of the night. That is exactly what I've been saying. And then people start coming at you saying, "Oh, you don't care about men's mental health." Now, I am going to say something about that because that's a fucking brilliant comment. That was a cover, right? And I'm going to say it openly. It was a fucking cover last week because what happened was he had come out, he had pissed off the fan base because of the Billy Bonds thing. RIP to that man, what a legend. And they had to recover the situation. So they went down that he's struggling and all that. If he goes and puts a shit performance in tomorrow, I'm actually not going to even going to blame Lucas Paqueta. I really am not. I'm going to sit there and go, I'm blaming Nuno for this, because I don't know what he's seeing. Now, for me, I'd get rid of him. I'd get rid of him out of fucking East London come January. I don't particularly think he wants to be here. I don't think he's up for the fight. I see a different West Ham side from the Thursday to the Sunday, and that is because on the Thursday night they was all together, they was all fighting, they was all trying. I've never seen so many good performances in one game. To on the Sunday where they looked like they couldn't really be fucking bothered, right? I know it's a different team, but you get me point. So tomorrow, and I agree with what Keith's saying there, right? It's shit or bust for him tomorrow. If he does fuck about tomorrow, it's not looking good, mate. It's not looking good. I'd sell Paqueta in January, but Southern won't replace him. So it would be self-sabotage despite him needing to go. So this is where the thing is. This is where fucking our owner has stitched us right up. It all goes back to the owner, mate. It really does. And I know I've been saying it for years, and I'm so glad Hammers United have taken it over. One thing I will say, who's me? I'm pleased that Hammers United have took over the situation now, right? In regards of dealing with this fucking vermin at the top. I just think that we might run out of time on this one, right? They might nick a win. Like Leeds seem like they could nick a win from anywhere. And Leeds, to say this, Leeds actually play Liverpool at Anfield on the 29th of December. Because what it is, all the games that are played over this weekend are the reverse fixtures for the last game before the end of 2025. So Leeds could actually go to Anfield and fucking win. Do you know what I mean? The midfield against Manchester United was good, but what did it create? Nothing. They can pass a ball forward because that's not their game. We need Paqueta. He has 4 goal assists this season, joint most with Jad Bowen. Well, them 4 goal and assist are just 4 goals, mate, because he hasn't got an assist since 2024, March 2024. Like, and I found that out the other day. Someone sent it to me and said, look at the last time he got an assist. He don't get assists. And for me, what did they create? I don't know about that one, man, because Magassa created one chance on his own, and he looks a talent, mate. Like he looks like he's right up for the fucking challenge. Do you know what I mean? And I've got a really good song for Magassa. Right, trust me. They seek him here, they seek him there. Magassa is fucking everywhere. That's not even me drunk. Aaron, how you doing, mate? I see you was on live, mate. Fuck me, what happened to your team today? If you're about Aaron, jump on, mate. And if you want to jump on, if not, no worries. Yeah, they seek him there, they seek him there. Fucking Magassa is fucking everywhere. Um, he was literally everywhere. Like he looks a good player. But you know what? Something's just telling me, yeah, let's get them all together. And do you know what? Freddie had a good game on Thursday. Not really, he didn't really get a lot of mention, right? He didn't. He didn't get a lot of mention on Thursday, but he had a good game. If you go back and watch that game, Freddie was picking the balls up, passing them to Magassa and Fernandez, and that three in midfield, right, is only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Late to the party, but we have two absolute talents on our hands with these boys in midfield. I completely agree. Out of all three of them, who's your favourite? That's the question I'm going to ask you. Who's your favourite? Now, for me, I was screaming literally in the summer, right? And I plums, plums telling me you can't pay £40 million out, James, for a championship player in Matheus Fernandez. And I turned around and said, just shut up and stop fucking playing FIFA. Matheus Fernandez is worth every penny of that 40 million bar, because if he continues to go the way he's going to go up for about 75 million. Then you got Freddie, and then you got Magassa. Now, I just hope Magassa's performance on Thursday night wasn't just a one-off. That's the only thing I'm hoping. If he puts another performance in again, then we might have a right quality talent on our hands. Yeah. But I think what Freddie's done in the short space of time, especially with the shit that we've got, and someone put up a team that started the season. Yeah, it had James Ward-Prowse in it. It had Guido Rodriguez in it. It had Fulkrug in it. And who was the other one in it? It had some. Oh, no, Gued. Our team at the start of the season, Southern the Way, was absolutely embarrassing, mate. Fucking embarrassing. Like, and when you look at it now, that midfield three will be all right. It really does. Um, let's get to a few of the comments. Fernandez has been consistently good under Nuno. He's a good player, mate. Potts is my favourite so far. The kid will put his life on the line for this club, regardless of the club deserving it. Completely agree on that. Potts is, if you look at Potts, yeah, when you're watching the game tomorrow, and don't focus on the ball, focus where Freddie's running and sort of just get your eyes on Freddie or what he does. He reminds me of a young. He reminds me a bit like how Deck used to be at the start, right? Not as like good or anything like that, but like how he sort of finds space, good on the ball. He also reminds me of a young Michael Carrick. He really does. Anyone remembers Michael Carrick from back in the day? How he picks a pass, makes space. His awareness is good. Breaking up plays good. Yeah, he looks good, and that's the thing. Yeah, the loan system works wonders. Why do you think Chelsea have one of the best loan systems going in, probably in the world? Because what they do, they just get loads and loads and loads of players and then flood the loan market and get them out on loan to everywhere. And basically, they give them a few years, and if they're not good enough, they just sell them or just get rid of them. Well, this is what we've got to do. Like Orford, I see someone just say there, Orford too, right? Orford needs a loan, right? He needs a proper loan now, right? He's just come back from Stevenage. You ain't going to get in the starting 11 here. You ain't really going to get on the bench here because there's other players. Let's have a think. What else we got here? I think we might struggle tomorrow. James Brighton are really good. Listen, I think everyone we're going to play, like, they're really good at the minute. The only thing I will say is that if we can get a draw there, at least, we just got to keep nicking points. My attitude is keep nicking points and try and get to January as best as we can. One thing we also have got to do, because after Brighton tomorrow, we've got Aston Villa who are third in the league, and we've got Man City who are second in the league, right? The goal difference, we've got to make sure we don't get hammered in games, right? The goal difference is also important because the City game I'm worried about, right? I watched them today against Sunderland, yeah, and Sunderland are like the surprise package this year, apparently. They fucking went through them, eat with ease, and City are going to hunt Arsenal down. They really are. They're going to hunt Arsenal down. they're gonna be looking for that title. I'll get to this quickly. I mean, let's have a look. Nothing there. Right. Uh, Pops' passing is underrated too. See his tackle the other day when he done Umbramo. Well, I thought that was excellent. Freebies and loans is what Sullivan will do in January. Well, me and Mark discussed it the other day, right? Every time Sullivan does business, it's always from the 20th of January to the back end. Very rarely does anything early. So if we're expecting him to do something early in January, we might be very much mistaken, mate. Because I don't think he will. It is going to be freebies, or it's going to be a cheap signings. There is one saving grace with West Ham this season, right, with the loan market, which might be an absolute blessing for all of us, is that there's a World Cup coming. And there will be players at clubs who are not in the first team who might be wanting to move to a club who's going to be guaranteed to play. And that's where it could help us, because West Ham will pay the wages out if it means getting a player in. Right, we've seen it before with Lingard, which I've seen he's been released, and I've seen people say, "Oh, one last dance with Lingard," but this is the geezer who fucked off and left us for Nottingham Forest. If anyone remembers. Would There's a question for you: would you have Lingard back on a free transfer? If someone said to you right now, right, Lingard back again, what would you say? I see it, mate, and I was like, "Fucking here we go." I can't. He's like the coronavirus. You just can't get rid of, isn't it? That's basically what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? He's been in Korea for fuck knows how long. Um, Tony would be good even on a loan. Yeah, yeah. Ivan Tony comes, West Ham would be fine because he knows the league and he'll guarantee you at least 10 goals. Like it's gonna. I don't know how they're gonna go around it with the striker. That's the only thing, because good strikers are very hard to find, especially in January. Um, do West Ham take a risk and go for someone who's not proven, someone in the Championship maybe? I'm seeing Josh Sargent of Norwich being linked, and I'm thinking, what is all that about? Josh Sargent, fuck me. That's how far we've gone. Lingard. Let's get to Alex's comment. Lingard as a backup, that wouldn't bug me. Um, who signed him? Who was the manager who signed him at Forest? Was it Cooper, or was it Nuno? I actually can't remember. Um, who signed him at Forest? Someone have a look at that. Check that out. Because if it was Nuno, it's fucking done, mate. It was Cooper. Someone says Cooper. You're right, James. Every game's going to be difficult, but I have faith in Nuno to keep us up. What it is, I have faith in him to be hard to beat, but I do think the only way West Ham get at this situation that we're currently in is simply with investment. That's the only way, right? If West Ham have this team right now, West Ham are going down. Simple as that. West Ham are going down. Yeah, because there's no way it can be done. It can be done. Do you know what I'm saying? Double Dutchy is in the chat. Can I get a shout out to Yardy tonight, beating the Hoff in the Jeff Fuller singles? Yes, mate. I did hear. Well done, Yardy. And unlucky Arnie in getting to the final of the Jeff Fuller Barking and Dagenham Paul Syndicate. So yeah, there's your shout out. Other shout outs are available. So there you go. But yeah, he's gonna lose on Wednesday though, because he's got me in a memorial half of the draw. So yeah, ask Yardy how he got on against me last time. Do you know what I mean? Didn't go well for him, but much love to Yardy. Quality. Promise David, young target man with something to prove. Get him in. Anyone I do, mate. Anyone I do. What was the other one? There was someone else who West Ham were linked with and all. Um, fucking hell, I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. Like Josh Sargent, and there was someone else in the Championship. I had to laugh. I was like, "This is a fucking wind up or something." Or what? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. it's very hard to find good quality players who are there and ready, and also who are ready for a relegation dogfight, right? Because what I'm expecting over the next sort of 2 3 weeks is West Ham to remain in this bottom three. I'll be very shocked if West Ham get out of this bottom three from now till Christmas. Right? If West Ham go and beat Brighton tomorrow, they would have to score a good few goals to get ahead of them and get out on goal difference. Right? But against Villa, uh, Aston Villa don't lose no games, mate. Was it they've won 9 of the last 10 games in a row? It'd be typical West Ham to go and beat Villa, right? It's be typical, but you know, that's the other guy. Hadji Wright, Hadji Wright from Coventry has been on fire. To be honest, yeah, it was a couple of players in the Championship that was mentioned. So you know, but don't worry, we're bringing in Nama. Nama is coming, not Neymar. Nama, other Nama. That's the listen, people. That's the bootleg version. Nama's coming. You know what I mean? What a guy! What a guy! Um, the boys linked with us. Kind of George looks unreal. So I promised David. Evilwood got top. Yeah, I'm praying we don't get Torre. He's utter dog shit and can't get in the Fulham's team. Yeah, yeah, I know, mate. I know. He'll be cheap though. That's what it is. He'll be cheap like the canary. So you know, cheap and cheerful signing. Do you know what? He wouldn't be bad as a bench option. And the thing is, we must get cover for both flanks. Um, like Lewis Guilherme, where was he last week? He's nowhere to be seen. And Nicholas Fulkrug. How do you feel about Nicholas Fulkrug? Because listen, he keeps saying he wants to go. I won't even have him anywhere near the squad. I go, you know what? Let him sit out. There's no point having him there. And I'd rather give it to a youngster. I really would. I'd rather give the youngsters an opportunity to get on the pitch, right? And I know people say, "Oh, you can't be sentimental like that," but he doesn't want to be here. So what's the fucking point? What's the point in being here? So you know, I would. I wouldn't let Fulkrug be anywhere near the side if I'm being truthful. Lewis Guilherme is a tricky one for me because people have got this thing about he's going to be a top class player. He's going to be world class. He's going to be this. I've seen absolutely nothing of this geezer. Nothing. Like I look at him and I think we paid 19 million pound out for this kid, and he can't hold the ball. He can't run with the ball. He can't do nothing. If I'm honest. So what's all that about? Fulkrug has to be no bust. Yeah, it's been fucking awful, isn't he? I think the injury killed him a little bit. I really do. I think the injury when he got the injury against Villa in January, that killed him. But he was never the right man. He was never the right man for the job, right? Absolute never. Like I remember when we was going after John Duran. Yeah, was going after John Duran, and I remember hearing so much stuff about Duran. Like Duran, like they've literally pinpointed Duran as the main man for West Ham. He was the maverick that we needed. He's the bastard that we needed in our side because West Ham love a bastard in their side. They just do. And the moment that deal fell dead, to turn it all around and go for Nicholas Fulkrug just made no fucking sense. Like, and I agree with that comment. From Duran to Fulkrug, it's like fucking craziness. You're going for a 21, 22-year old, whatever he is, youngster, to a 31-year-old. Fucking madness. Fulkrug can leave, or obviously Marshall. We're already in a relegation battle. Let the kid prove he belongs. I agree with Dutch here. Marshall is not strong enough. Wilson is the only option up front for now. Do you know what I'm worried about? Is that they're going to go with Wilson as the main man, Soucek as the backup, and if they ever need someone with a bit of pace, they put Bowen through the middle, right? Where Bowen played on Thursday night is exactly where he used to play the whole off the main striker as the sort of 10, right? And I noticed it on Thursday night at Old Trafford when he was in behind. They was aiming balls for Souček to make sure Bowen and Wilson could pick them up and then get on the move. The problem is, I don't care who we sign, we need pace in this ranks. Right, we are lacking pacey players throughout. Krug was a baffling signing, made 0 sense. Tim Steiden, mate. Timmy Steiden, that was. Timmy Steiden. He's the one. There's so many issues. When you look at West Ham, right, there's so many issues that have happened over the last fucking 2 years. But when I go back and look at the videos that I used to say, and not so much the videos really, because when Steiden come in, I think everyone was like hoping, right, but the PR bollocks that come out of this club was borderline a criminal offence, like literally criminal. So, you know, James, as you know, I'm an old git, 60 years, 55 years. Why don't we ever learn to get a striker? It's over 30 years. Over 30, it's been going on for years, even when I was a kid. West Ham way, mate. West Ham way. I don't think it's that hard to go and find a striker, really, if you've got a good recruitment policy. And I look at people like Bournemouth who go out and they find players instantly. It takes West Ham for ages. What I think it is I think Sullivan likes to go with what he knows, and he's not up for change, and that's the problem. You've got an owner who won't invest in the modern day, and he likes to stick to what he knows. Well, it's a bit of a stubbornness there, but you know, you get me drift. Let's get to Stevie Taylor. I hope you're well, mate. How are we going to flog James Ward-Prowse, Guido, and friends? We're going to need to get half a daily from Minder in to try and sell them to someone. I mean, half a daily, fucking half a pint. I think I'm going to need a whiskey watching them fucking play. I know that. Right, let me answer your question. Guido's not going nowhere. Guido will run his contract down. He's on too much money and no one's going to buy him. I'll be very shocked if Guido leaves this club come January. Right, I've been screaming for Guido to get out of the club for a long time. Someone said to me before, he's got 2 years on his deal. He's done 18 months, so he's going to sit here for another 6 months. James Ward-Prowse will be loaned out. Probably go back to Southampton. Right, probably offer like a loan deal to the end of the season with an option to buy for like minimal fee. Krug will go, all right, but I don't think we're going to get no money for him. A lot of these are going to be loans out, and but the problem is with us, we can't. Whoever I don't see us buying anyone. That's the problem. So it is going to be loans and cheap deals. That's the guy that we should have got in the summer. Fucking screaming for it. I watched him in the under-23s. I thought he was excellent. We still need a centre back like Charlie Cresswell, in my opinion, an organiser. I'll tell you what, I am going to talk about John Clare Todibo in a minute. I think he's been fucking like a revelation, hasn't he? Sorry, James. Neymar. Apparently, he wants to come to West Ham and play with Paqueta before the World Cup. Would you take him on a free? His shirt sales alone would pay his wages. Would I take him on a free? I'd have to think about it, mate. I really would. It would be a short conversation of can you have a world-class player or not? Imagine if he did roll up into the fucking. Imagine if he turned all the way up from Brazil, right? Travelled all the way over, end up at fucking Chadwell Heath. Fucking hell. I don't hear it, mate. I don't hear it. I get to Mark. Need a left winger since Somerville has a lot of injuries. Another striker in January. Yeah, Somerville's a bit of a liability with the injuries, isn't he? I actually feel for him a little bit because, yet again, it was that Aston Villa game in the FA Cup that killed him. Well, it picked up an injury from that one, isn't it? Sullivan is like one of these dads that says go large in Mackey's to impress people. Fuck me, mate. Go large or go home. Right. What we got? Let's have a look. He's about to save Santos and then come to us and save us. Neymar to go. Right. I want you to put in your percentages now. Right, we're gonna play a bit of a percentage game here. What is your percentage that Neymar turns up at West Ham this January? Because what is the percentage? I need to hear it. Right, get your comments in. Let us know. Right, I'm gonna say 17%. That's what I'm saying. GP's come in 0%. Larry's come in 0%. I mean, no one's got any faith. I've heard some baffling sort of transfer rumours, but Mark's come in. He's been a bit more positive. He's saying um, he's like that geezer. No, what is it? It's like Dumb and Dumber, isn't it? So there's a chance. So there's a chance, people. There's a chance. 99% faith, 1% chance. What else we got? It's to Stevie. Neymar believes he wants to come. It's Sullivan that won't sanction it. That's what. Mate, imagine Sullivan with his sitting in the ballroom and saying that Neymar wants to turn up for West Ham. Fuck it. Listen, I'm not questioning nothing anymore, right? Because one thing I will say about this, one thing I will say about West Ham YouTube as a whole is don't believe everything you hear. That's all I'm going to tell you, right? And if this is my last year, I'm just going to tell you this. Some of the shit I've heard throughout doing this game, it does make me wonder how people haven't severely got fucking found out. Like the lies and the propaganda and the clickbait. That's what I'm going to say. So just take it like a pinch of salt and laugh at it, right? Because some of it is just utter bollocks, just for exactly that. Um, and like I've heard so much stuff, mate, and like I've had people like ringing people up, making out their agents and things like that. Um, someone even like got found out that there was a fake transfer rumor, even so much so, right? And this is why social media does baffle me, right? But then I do hear some fucking funny shit. There was a lad who I know, Kane, comes on this channel, does a space with Kane. Kane's all right. He's a bit of a wind up merchant, but you got to know how to handle him. He put out a rumor about David Moyes. This was years ago, right? Saying that about him going to Saudi, and there was actually people reporting it on Twitter, journalists saying that he's been linked to Saudi, and it was like, fucking, what is going on here? Like, someone puts it out, and everyone jumps on it. It's like a fucking, it's literally like flies around shit. Honestly, all I'm going to say to you is this: don't believe what you hear. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Nick had Sports X on tonight, and I believe the bloke. Well, you can, mate. I don't believe none of these people in this community at all. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my race show is very good. Everything I've come out with, I've sort of stood by from minute one. Um, how many other people can say that? Do you know what I'm saying? Uh, thanks, James. It's been a long day listening to all the channels. Calm down, everyone. It's just, for me, I don't believe any of it, mate. I really don't. Because I'll tell you the reason why I don't believe any of it. Because Sullivan does it his way, and Sullivan will do it exactly the way he does it every single time. Sullivan will always use his own agents, and Lionel Messi could want to come to West Ham, but if Sullivan looks at a pound note and goes, "I ain't paying it," Sullivan ain't going to do it. What we've got to understand is, and this is what people got to listen to, is that Sullivan works on his own terms, right? And he does it his way, um, and that's what it is. Like, and that's what I've always said is that you've got to think of what that prick's doing. You've got to think what Sullivan's doing, and I know it's mad what I'm about to say, but you've got to think like strategize the situation. I don't believe any of these people so-called in the nose, because I've seen it for myself, and I know I'm going not on a bit of a rant, but I'm going into it a bit in depth here. But I will say something, and I remember doing a space right about what's the thing? It was in the summer. I done a space, and we was talking about a player. And I think it was someone like a Charlie Cresswell, someone like that. I remember it, and someone mentioned something on the space, and the next day it all come out that like this thing that was said on the space, and he was coming to West Ham, or he's looking to come to West Ham, or there was links to this player. Yeah. And I messaged someone because when I'm monitoring the spaces on Twitter, I can see what's going on. And I said, that is bollocks that you're putting that stuff out. And I'm not going to name no names. I'm not. But it was someone on Twitter who's big. And I sort of stuck it on him a little bit and said, you are lying to this fan base. Yeah. And you're just putting it out for clicks and views. He said, no, I've heard it. I heard it and this and that. And someone at the ground, I said, no. I said, well, I'll tell you something now. If you've heard something, I must be the most unbelievable geezer going, because there was about 30 of us on a space. We mentioned a scenario, and the scenario comes out the very next day. I said, nah, mate. I said, nah. I said, I'm not buying that one. I said, listen, fool me once, yeah, but I've seen that fucking play out too many times over the years. Yeah, so some of these people, mate, just from me, right? I look straight in the camera. Just don't believe everything you hear. That's what I'm going to say. Um, it is so much bullshit on social media. I do love the shows like yours to talk about a team I love. I know a new guy from the US, but I love this club. No, listen, at the end of the day, mate, everyone's equal when it comes to West Ham on here. Do you know what I mean? Anyone, like, if someone wants to come on and speak about the club or speak about me, um, then great. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because the way I look at it is we're all in it together. The issue is that I'm not gonna believe the bullshit, because there is a hell of a lot of it. And these people, these people that are the biggest Billy bullshitters are the ones that are very good salesmen, extremely good. And you can either choose to believe it or you don't, right? And I'm going to be honest, I don't believe half the shit that I see on social media and on YouTube. I think some of it is lies. I think some of it is cock and bullshit. And as a West Ham fan, because that's what I am, right? I think you're lying to the people, right? And I will never do that. I will do. It's just not in me to lie to the people. Now, some people go, "Well, everyone's different." Yeah, but bullshit baffles brains, people. So there you go. Right, let's have a look. Sullivan, could he? Messi wants to come here for $1 and try and get him for 50 cent. Sullivan, mate. When I used to have the arguments with people on different platforms, right, and I used to really go in it. I remember saying something about a year ago. I said the people that wanted, you know, our ex-manager out, like well, Moyes. I mentioned Moyes. I said you wanted him out, but you trusted Sullivan, and some people can't get their head around that. And my argument was, I will never trust this geezer, Sullivan. Never. Right? It's like trusting Jimmy Savile with your fucking kids. You just don't do it at the end of the day. And it's like you're putting your faith in David Sullivan to do the right thing by this club when he's never done the right thing by this club ever. In all the years he's been the owner of this club, right? He has took the piss a hell of a lot of times over the years. And the arguments and everything was just so toxic. I just hope this year, and I really do mean this. I know I'm going to say this. If West Ham go down this year, I will feel fucking devastated. But now I do look at some people and go, you asked for this a little bit with fucking trusting Sullivan. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with you on this. Whetstone's the worst. I remember when I had a debate with him. Oh mate, classic. Remember when I had a debate with him on West Ham Network, all right? And who remembers a few years ago when we played Everton at Goodison Park in the League Cup game, and Sullivan wouldn't even pay for a plane to go up there. He refused. He made him go on a coach or something. And Sean was praising up Sullivan. I fucking dropped that in there, and he fucking didn't like it, mate. He goes, "Oh, you got an agenda against Sullivan?" I said, "Yeah, I fucking hate the cunt, mate." You know what I'm saying? I said, "I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I hate him." So Um, evening, Jimbo. I'm not trying to get you in shit here, but what do you think about Nick saying we're linked with Neymar? I believe when I see it. Simple as that. Also, Father Christmas is coming on the 25th of December this month. So I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see. If he turns up, signs on the dotted line, and he gets a guided tour around Chadwell Heath, then you can give praise. I'm not going to give praise for anything at the minute. 'Cause I don't believe half the stuff that comes out, mate. I really don't. I really don't. Shout out to James for being the one, few real ones, not putting nonsense, keeps putting it on for everyone in the fan base, regards to the bullshit you deal with Becky, my friend. Thank you very much, Alex. I must admit, mate, you know, the comments have calmed down a little bit. Yeah, they've calmed down. They was bad. It was really fucking bad. And they have calmed down over the last sort of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, but around that time. But when I used to get all the shit over a few weeks back, fuck, it was hard, mate. Like it was hard. Like dealing with absolute plums, and do you know what I'm saying? But it just someone said to me, James, you're winning because you're here, right? And I thought, you know what, you got a point. Yeah, when you're fighting against the fucking just words, it drains the life out you a little bit. Did you see Salah's interview? Everything wrong with modern ball. It is really, mate. It is really sad, really. No way, you can never really sort of. Football's just different now. Like I come from the era of the 90s, like the Barclays era. That was fucking great. Like the late 90s, early 90s was some of the best football you're going, some of the best players. I remember like seeing like the Canio and obviously Alex Ferguson's sort of era with Man United, which I will get to Man United in a minute. We're going to speak about Angry Ginge. I see Jazz doesn't do his channel anymore. He's had enough. Yeah, I think so, mate. I think he had a passing, if I remember, of his. I think his father passed away with his mother. I can't remember which one it was. I haven't heard from him for a hell of a long time. Hope he's all right though, man. I really do. Right. Let's talk about tonight on I'm a Celebrity. Well, anyone who watches that program, I'm going to be honest, I'm guilty. I'll watch it. And Ginge mentioned West Ham United tonight. Oh, I had to laugh, mate. He says, someone said, "Oh, it's a good point against West Ham." He goes, "We can't well, at Manchester United, we can't respect the point against West Ham United." I was like, "This is epic. This is proper." I'm very happy that you're like rattled by us. Worst fucking fan base going, Man United. Them and Arsenal are two of the worst fucking. Oh, yeah. Man United fans just claiming absolutely everything and getting nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I would love them to do a West Ham fan channel. I'm a celeb. Who would be your pick, GP? Give us your top 10 picks for I'm a Celebrity West Ham edition. You know what I mean? Fan channel. Give us your thoughts. James, we had banter back in the day, but I respect you and respect you and respect you. I got smarter after 7 years. No, listen, man. At the end of the day, it's all love, isn't it? You know what I mean? Um, it is what it is. You just got to crack on in life. One thing I've learned, I heard a sad story today. Anyone who's on Twitter earlier, geezer headphones Norm, I think his name is. Sadly passed away for a Charlton fan, and he actually died in the ground today at like 15 minutes into the game, and they abandoned the game today. So it really does put life into perspective. I'm very much a sort of person that I live for the day. Do you know what I mean? I live for the now, right? And where I am tomorrow, who knows? That's how I've always been brought up. Really, I shouldn't do that. I should live for the future and plan a year in advance or 2 years in advance. But I've got this thing in me where I'm like, I just live for the day. And sadly, that bloke ain't going to be living no more. And that was such a shame today to hear that, like a fan passing on in the ground. Very sad. It was. Yeah, from Jazz last week. He texted me when Bonzo passed away. Oh, shout out to him, man. So yeah, listen, you got to appreciate life, man, because life's too short. DD too short. Do you know what? When I do these after hours videos, yeah, like the hour just flies by. Do you know what I mean? Right, we've got yourself. Let's get this. I'm a celebrity one. Kieran, Budgie, yourself, Tony. Who's Tony? Uh, oh, I know Tony. Yeah, Stel, Gio, Gonzo, Amers, Chat, Russ, Anton, West Ham, Ryan, Scott, West Ham Fan TV. Oh, who would win it though? Do you know what I mean? It'd be fucking epic round the old campfire, wouldn't it? You know what I mean, that'd be quite fun. Um, fucking hell. Tell you what, that would be a good five-a-side team. Or was it 10-a-side? Uh, it was live for the day when your name's on the book. That's it. Yeah, you got to live for the day, mate. Yeah, you got to live for the day. That's the way I look at it. I really do. Do you know what? With Christmas coming up, and you know, it's mad how fast this year's gone. I can't believe how quick 2025's gone. Like, I am actually going to be 39 on the 16th of December. So that is in 9 days' time. Fuck me, man. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. But do you know what? I still feel young, really, at heart. And maybe I just don't. I'm a bit like Peter Pan. I never fucking grow up, but I should grow up, really. But you know, I'm uh, I'm the same lad that I always have been. That's the problem. Uh, Anton in goal would be hard to beat. He's huge. How did Angry Ginge know the results? They got an ice cream tonight, and on the ice cream sort of stick, there was like messages. He got it through that. Mate, I'm 61 in January. Time flies so fast. We're all cracking on. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about this. What's your best memory of 2025, and what's your worst in regards to West Ham? I think the best memory of 2025 for me, for West Ham related, is beating Arsenal away. That's the only. I think that's that's up there because I remember the video I done on that, and oh mate, it was fucking brilliant. I was so happy. The worst moment of West Ham so far this season. Well, it was a fucking view, isn't there? There really is. Chelsea 5-1. I think he's up there. Spurs 3-0. He's definitely there. Um, Brighton last season. Obviously, he's still this year, but Brighton losing 3-2 against them. Yeah, there's a few, mate. There's a few. See that I agree with that comment there. Beating Arsenal. Worse Spurs at home. Chelsea at home. I think Spurs is worse than Chelsea. I think it all depends on your feelings in regards of the teams, but losing to Spurs the way we did and dealing with them lot was hard work, especially with Kudus and all. Um, Bristol City lost in the cup. See, that's mad. That's a year ago. That's mad. Man, it can't be a year ago because Ben Rama was playing at the time. No, no, no way. Who did we lose to in the cup? Was it Bristol City last year? Blimey. Where are we? Let's get to where was it? The best memory was getting rid of Potter. Fucking hell. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, the funniest one was John Victor at the airport. Fucking hell, what a carry on that was. And yeah, what an absolute carry on that was. I still can't believe that now. I still can't believe it now. Yeah, lost to Villa in the cup. I thought it was. It was the following year. What we got here. To be honest, 2024-25 have been slim pickings in terms of good results. Last 2 years have been tough in the league. Yeah, as mate, innit? I just hope I just hope West Ham have got enough this year to stay up. That's the only thing. Because you know what it is? It feels like to me that we're dropping slowly down. And obviously tomorrow, like it's full card tomorrow. Live watch along after full. I'm actually going to a like a aluminum sort of festival thing tomorrow night, right? So I'm going to be doing live watch along after full, and then straight on after the after full, I'm going out. Then in the evening, I'm going to do the player ratings. I'll put the video up. I'll do it as a video, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As long as we get the right result, otherwise I'm going to be like a fucking pissed off. But you know, I mean, how is that shit bowl a home? Look at our so-called home record this season: win two, drew zero, lost five. Pathetic. I'll tell you which will always be a good memory this year, as we're talking about it, is the March against Burnley, against Sullivan. I think that's a good memory for me. That's a touching memory for me. I've got the video on my phone here, all right, of when you see the West Ham fan base coming down Stratford. It's like it's a road, but it goes up and then down, right? And someone filmed it and sent it to me, right? Who was there on the day? I think that I think that's a good memory, right? Because I think that's the start of something. If I'm being honest, I'm hoping everything's going to be all right in the future. But obviously, there was a rumor that come out about something happening in January, right? Apparently with Brady. Yeah, I don't think so, mate. I really don't. I don't think Brady's out the door anytime. I actually think she'll probably leave at the end of the year. There's no way Sullivan's going to drop her in it halfway through the season. He just won't do it. Du, du, du. Mm, 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 mm. West Ham. Okay. What's that? West Ham. Okay. One's okay. Lucky Singh. What you saying, mate? Fucking hell, I think I've had too much to. I have one more little dabble of the old Jack. Fucking hell, one little dabble of the old Jack Daniels, and I think that's me done. But my ideal. Let's get to your ideal 2026. My ideal 2026 for us is to obviously stay up, and the players like Sullivan and Tart ready to go. I I don't think it's going to be as easy as what we think, mate. If you want me to be honest, I'd love nothing more than I've been screaming for it for ages. That Sullivan going, all right. But I don't think Sullivan's fucking shifting anytime soon. And the problem is, you got what we have got right now is people go, well, you can't protest now because we're in a shit state in the league, right? Which I understand what they're saying, because what's more important right now, stay in the league or getting Sullivan out? Now, for me, when people say to me, "Oh, listen, if we go down, Sullivan will go," it's the biggest myth you've ever heard in your life, because it ain't happening. Sullivan will stay here and he will work on it, and he will drag it out for even more time. We need to keep him. We need to keep him in the league, and then there is no excuses, right? Once West Ham, what West Ham have to do, from my perspective, this season, they have to get into a position where they're safe, and they've got, you know, whatever, and then they have to go at the owner, like continuously protests and all that. Um, James and the chat, what do you think of England's World Cup group? Oh, it's a dolly, isn't it, mate? If England can't get out of that group, it's ain't wrong. Larry's off. I have to go. Thanks, mate. Tomorrow, 1-0 West Ham. Clean sheet, baby. Let's hope so, mate. My 26 is a fucking striker. Fuck me, mate. Outside. It makes you laugh, doesn't it? Like you think we ask for blood in the West Ham community, right? You think, well, you know what? We demand we demand players, and like we are so needy when it comes to players. Fucking all we ask for is a decent striker. Fucking it, we can never get one. Jay, one positive is the owners have been exposed to the media and the outsiders that have nowhere to hide if the worst happens. I agree on that comment. That's a good comment as it goes. Shout out to that comment. Another good one. That's very good. Very good indeed. They have been exposed. They have been, the light has been firmly shone on Sullivan and Brady. One thing I will say, it has gone a bit quiet recently. Maybe it's because West Ham's predicament that they're in. Maybe people are saying, like, leave it now till after the new year. I don't know. I don't know. But what I am expecting is some sort of protest at the Villa game on the 14th, I think it is. But if we let it go now and it continue and we leave it, then it just feels like it's been a waste of time. Would Sullivan sell up if we go down? 100% no, mate. 1000% no. Because he will lose shit ton of money on a Premier League asset. No chance. What Sullivan is more likely to do in that situation is reinvest into the side, because he hasn't invested since 2014 apparently, and basically fire his way back out of the Championship straight to the Prem. Right. The issue is it's going to take more time. That's the problem. It's going to take, instead of him looking like he could be gone in 18 months, it could take 3 years. Right. And that could happen. Anyone who wishes West Ham to go down, I just don't get it. People go, oh, I want. If West Ham go down, that means Sullivan's gone. Biggest myth you've ever read in your life. I, I, I don't believe that at all, because there's been times before where Sullivan has been on the brink of going down, and we've got away with it. And I just don't see it. I really don't. Right, let's have a look, see what's going on. I don't want to end the stream. But nothing's happening. Let's see what's happening on social media. No, nothing. Oh, Pat's in the chat. Shout out to Pat. Big man Pat. Pat Pong. James, do you think the relegation battle, the last game of the season, is West Ham v Leeds at home, or will we be safe by then? Do you know what, mate? I think one of us will be down by then. I don't think it goes all the way to the end of the season. I think one of us will be gone by the time we get there. It all depends whether it's us or them. People keep saying to me, "What about Fulham? If Fulham go and beat Palace tomorrow or get anything, I think they're about 6-7 points clear. Can't see it. Um, if it is West Ham versus Leeds, last game of the season, shootout, whoever wins stays up, then that is going to be some game. Do I fancy us to win that game at home in a one-off game? Probably. I would say that, because I think everyone would get up for that game. Everyone will be together and push us over the line. My fear is will we run out of time before we get to that game? And will the players who we sign, because I think the signings are going to have to be important and all. Whoever we sign in this January window, and someone said it to me on Twitter, and I get that £2 a minute, Harry. Thank you very much. Someone said to me on Twitter, it's West Ham's biggest window now coming up. Well, we sort of say it every year. Yeah, it's the biggest window, but this is the biggest one, because this is basically, you fuck this window up, we're going down. That's it. Like there's no second chances now. Right. And you're gonna know within the first week of where West Ham are at, right? Because obviously you've got no Malik Diouf, no Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Um, I've sort of sussed out a little bit how they're going to get round that West Ham. I sort of have. I think Mavropanos will go right back because he's played right back for Stuttgart. Kyle Walker-Peters will go left back. Tadibo and Kilman, or Tadibo and Igor will be the two centre halves. That is what it will be. And I think West Ham will try and get through that as best as they can, bring in another centre half, and that is what it'll be. Right? I can't see it being any other way. There's no Skiles. Um, you know, I just can't see it any other way. But it's going to be interesting to see. Shout out to Harry. Do you think we will get relegated? Um, hmm, do I think we're going to get relegated? Something's telling me, yeah. I think West Ham will lose a game, and Leeds or someone will nick a result, and I think we might just not make it this year. Well, I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. But I think we might. I think we might be a game or two out. Like, and certain games I look at that we've given away, it'll be them ones. Do you know what I mean? The problem is I've not seen West Ham play back to back games good so far. Right, I haven't. Newcastle we played well. Burnley we played shit in the first 40 minutes of that game. Right, it was 1-0 down, and for me, right, it wasn't good, but we probably managed to get the result. The result over the performance. I need to see West Ham play consistently better. I don't think West Ham have it in them to play consistently better, because I think Nuno, when he gets into a situation of control, is he going to throw the kitchen sink at it, or is he going to try and shut up shop and bring on a centre half or someone like that to see the game out? That's that's what the problem is. Like, he proved it the other day, yeah. And I understand the outcry. I see a few clips from different people around the circuit, and they were saying, "Well, we're 1-1, and he brings Kilman on to shut the game down." This is the problem. Are we going to be in a situation where we need to go for it, and he goes, "No, a point's better," and then we're going to run out of time? Do you know what I mean? I hope I'm wrong, but also what does come into play here, which I will say, is the January window. The January window is the key to the whole thing. In my honest opinion, the January window will be the one that keeps us in the league. Right? If the January window goes where we want it to go, we loan 2 or 3 good players in, yeah, or we sign some decent players in January window, then we might have half a chance. But we are asking David Sullivan, right, to go out, get the players that Nuno wants, bring them in. And that to me is where I look here and I think he's never done it. He has never done this ever. Like, apart from the Lingard signing and the Bowen and Souček pair, right? But don't forget, when we signed Bowen and Souček, one of them was a permanent, one of them was a loan with an obligation to buy if we stayed up in that year. You can probably see another scenario in that. Yeah, he took Forest from bottom and kept them up. He did do, mate. He did, but the problem is he didn't have David Sullivan as his owner. This is the thing. It all goes back to Sullivan, right? If Sullivan wants to keep West Ham in the league, he will. It's exactly that, because you go out, you fire money at it, he'll get Nuno's players. Nuno will bring in players that he wants to gel into the side. Let's be honest here, it's the attack line that's the problem, right? We need a centre half. Yeah, I think we'd all agree we need a centre half. Then after that, it's the attack line. I would probably say the midfield three picks itself right now. Magassa, Potts, Fernandez. Right? That's young, that's fresh, that's good on the ball. But we lack pace. That's the problem. And the style we are trying to play is counter attack. Mid block, counter attack, hit teams fast on the break. But you can't do that with one fucking fast player in the team. You simply can't. So That is where the problem is at the minute, right? Is we haven't got a lot of pace on the break, right? A lot of pace. We haven't got a lot of pace in our team full fucking stop, really. So the ball issues seem to have cooled. I realise we've lost a legend, but wouldn't we be better to go down to rebuild? The problem is, Ian, if we go down, mate, there's no guarantees, right, that we're automatically going to come straight back up. We could come straight back up because Sullivan will try and fire money at it to get us back into the Premier League, right? But we are gambling. The reason why we're in this situation right now at West Ham is because Sullivan gambled 2 years ago. That's the real. This is the real reason. If you want me to be real, Sullivan decided, right, to get rid of Moyes, right? And I'm not making it about Moyes thing. I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to be honest, because Moyes had to go. Yeah, at the time, West Ham were in a good place, so you had to go and get a better manager to build West Ham further forward. So I understand that. The issue is Sullivan gambled. He gambled with West Ham's sort of stability in that moment, and that is the reason why the club is in the situation that it is. Right? Do I look at Junior Lopetegui as a problem? He was a shit manager from the start. No one really wanted him. It was never going to work out. The Graham Potter thing surprises me. The Graham Potter thing does surprise me because it was literally a scroll in Karen Brady's phone book. I will never forget that saying that Damien come out with. It was a scroll in Karen Brady's phone book. And at the end of the season, he should have went. Yeah, but the issue was is he tried his luck and he thought he could get away with Potter. We are so lucky, so lucky. I cannot stress enough how lucky West Ham United are right now having Nuno sitting there as a manager, right? Because if you look at it right now, there was no one else available, right? And Nuno goes and loses his job, but falls out with Mavropanos at Forest, and then he's sitting there. Do you know what I mean? So um, Lucky Singh is in the chat. He's saying, "Let banter carry on." Who do you support? Because I know you're saying about West Ham. I bet you're a Man United fan. I can tell. I can smell a Man United fan from a mile away, mate. And you're definitely a Man United fan, 100%. Only one loss in 5 is a positive after a crap start. It is, Mark, right? But that can soon change around in the case of the next 3 games, right? No one will be mentioning the one loss in 5. Um, so I I don't go on that. I go on like each game by game ratio, and the game by game ratio is that he should have won that game at Bournemouth. Well, if he wins that game in Bournemouth, we are 1 point behind Leeds, and no one's really panicking. I'll tell you, I think we'd be level. Be level with Leeds. It wasn't a mistake to let Moyes go in the last season from December to May. We only won 4 games and took beatings against Arsenal, Palace, and Fulham. Yeah, but I'm not going to get into the whole thing with Moyes, mate, because what people keep telling, like you're telling me that, and that's true. But then what people don't tell you is the start that we had on the lead up to that falling apart in the second part of the season. Because I remember December the 25th, 2023, West Ham was sitting 6th. And when he did leave, we finished 9th. So, and ever since then, we've just gone fucking like a downward spiral, bosh, straight down. That's where the problem is. Harry Elves, West Ham will survive because Nuno. The only thing holding us back is Sullivan. I agree with you on that. I really do. Sullivan's the problem, mate. He is the root of the cancer at West Ham United. He is the one. Yeah, I will guarantee this 1000%. If Sullivan leaves and an owner comes in, within 5 years, West Ham will win another major competition. Right, within 5 years, because an owner will get it. An owner will treat it like a business, but he won't lie to the fan base. He'll be straight with them. The issue is Sullivan needs to lie to this fan base because the truth don't do him no favours. It's as simple as that. The truth doesn't do Sullivan no favours. Sullivan doesn't care about this club, right? And all this about rumours about Neymar and all that. Does anyone really, really deep down in your heart think that this is going to happen under Sullivan's reign? And people went to me, oh yeah, but we signed Tevez and we signed fucking other players before in the past. And, Tevez didn't even come to West Ham when Sullivan was here, right? That was under fucking Brown, I think. So, you know, that's where the problem is. Yeah, the owners is the problem. The problem is with some people in the fan base, and I have it on social media because people block you and shit like that because they can't handle the truth. Simple fact is they can't handle the truth. And the truth is that with Sullivan, it doesn't matter about managers, it doesn't matter about players, it doesn't matter about staff, it doesn't even matter about fans. It matters about the owner because the owner is the one who's pulling everyone's strings. He's the puppet master. He is the puppet master at West Ham United. And sometimes you've got to fucking get hold of the puppet master and throw him out the door. And I can guarantee it, he goes different level. West Ham become a serious club. Yeah, in all aspects. I think the ground is a problem, but I've had a debate with. I remember having a debate with Dan Lawless on this. He says the ground's more the problem, and I'm saying the structure's more the problem. Because my attitude is right. I understand what Lawless is saying. Um, is that the ground is not fit for purpose, and with a better ground, you get more of the old school fans in there. My problem is the structure from top to bottom is completely wrong. You've got us going out signing bang average players on high wages shouldn't be working. I look at models that Brighton are doing, Bournemouth, Brentford, all them what they're doing is better than what we're doing. And two of them clubs have been in administration and nearly gone out of business. Do you know what I mean? In Brighton and Bournemouth. When I look at our structure is just it's not fit for purpose. And it proves it right now. Yeah, because the situation we're in, we are fighting to stay in the league right now. Yeah, and I look at teams like Bournemouth who get what 12,000, I think 12, yeah, about 12, 13,000 a week in, week out. And I look at us and their transfer policy, their structure, their everything about that club is a work in progress, right? And where we've been in a space of 2 years, because by the end of this year, it'll be 2 years to the day, where we was to where we are now is frightening. It's absolutely frightening. And it reminds me of Leicester City. It reminds me of Leicester City massively, this does. This is why I am majorly concerned about West Ham staying in the league this year. Right? West Ham need to stay in this league. Because I look at Leicester, Leicester look fucking awful. Leicester look like they're going to be down in the Championship the next maybe 2, 3 years. Um, they've got nothing about them, and they won the Premier League, they won the FA Cup, and then they had one bad season. That was it, and that's them gone now. Do you know what I mean? The last time we've seen to have good structure was under Redknapp, but what it was with Redknapp, he was very good at picking players, right, from clubs at teams where the players were not liked. A bit like Di Canio, really. No one would have touched Paolo Di Canio. No one would have went anywhere near Di Canio, yeah, because of the push and everything like that. But West Ham go in there and take the player. And it's no different to what Brighton and Bournemouth are doing right now, right? They're signing young players or players that are looking to basically have their moment in the Premier League. And we're signing a shit. But I mean, fuck you, shit. Some of these players are absolutely pony. Like Guido Rodriguez. I don't know what's going on there. Agree with this comment. Hire a proper scouting director. Club needs a vision. I know. Don't forget, Nuno got put into this shithole. Yeah, he did, mate. He did. When you get relegated, you're still in a pond, and they're going to be chomping at the bit to pump West Ham United. Fuck me. Harry got mentalist boogers. I remember the other geezer, mate. Who was the other geezer? The Chilean centre half who he signed. Fuck me, geezer jumped out of the window at the hotel, innit? At Wolverhampton Abbey. Fucking heck. What else we got? You know what I mean? Traore and Ivan Toney to West Ham in January, one on a loan and buying one. It will be something like that. I'm not going to say it is going to be that, but it will be something like that. There'd be one in on a permanent, which I think will be a cheap signing. Someone who's got 6 months left on his contract, and West Ham will go in there and go, right, we'll pay 6 million for you. Do you know what I mean? And the one on the loan. The issue is that I hope Sullivan doesn't delay it. Right, I'm going to go through this quick before I wrap this up. This is the January fixtures for West Ham. What I've got here, and I'm going to read them out to you. Right, we play Brighton. I don't know why that's doing that, but there you go. We play Brighton again in the reverse fixture on the 30th of December. That's our last game before the end of 2025. Now, in January, we have got Wolves away, Forest at home, Spurs away, Sunderland at home, Chelsea away. And we've also got FA Cup games in there and all. Right. We will have one FA Cup game in there, if not two, depending if we get through. That's why he needs to act early, Sullivan. He simply does. He needs to act early. Right, get to Pat. James, who would you like and who will we end up with? Do you know what, mate? I don't know. I look at the midfield. I think that midfield that we've got's all right. I think we need a left winger, someone for cover for Somerville. We need a centre forward. We need a centre half. I think we need 4 players. All right. I've got a feeling when people say, "Oh, right, we've got to replace the fullbacks because of African Cup of Nations," I look at it and I think he's going to try and go around it with Mavropanos. Right, Mavropanos has played right back. It's either he will go with 3 at the back, right, and play wing backs, or he's going to play Mavropanos right back. That's what it'll be. Right, I can't see it any other way. I can't see him wasting loans or buying players just to come in for like a few games, and then if they come back, they're out of the team. I can't see it. So I could see him bringing the centre half in as cover, pushing Mavropanos over to the right, Carl Walker-Peters over to the left, and then going down that route. And then obviously, if there's an injury or anything like that, they can act, right? Because I think they go away on the 15th of December. So, you know, see, I keep hearing about that and all. Kilman to Palace. Yes, please. 40 million pound we paid for him. Fucking embarrassing that is, isn't it? He'll be gone by the summer. Poor player. What we got here? Let's have a look. I don't care what anyone says. Guilherme, if he's in there, he's link up. If he develops with the likes of Fernandez and Potts or anyone else, there's a missing key there. I just don't think he's good enough for me. Gets his decision making under control. Guilherme is a destroyer. I just don't see it, Iron. I really don't, mate. I would love to believe you, but I just don't see it. I don't see what he does. I think he needs a loan, right? And if West Ham have got a choice to make in the January window with Lewis Gammy, they have. They've got a major choice. They either, all right, loan this kid out for 6 months, all right, see how he gets on in the Championship or in Europe, or you sell him. I don't think you've got a choice because I just don't think he's going to do it. Um, that's just me. Like, should we really be sitting here going, we need a covering winger for Somerville when we've got Lewis Gammy? We shouldn't. But we are because he ain't that good. So, you know, we need to rest. We need the rest of the results to go our way. Don't say that on Twitter, mate. Fuck it. Harry, you get a load of crap, mate. It's getting him out. Something that's better than all means, yeah. I would like to see Earthy get a chance soon. Decent player. Yeah. Joe, what Kante looks a player though. When he come on the other night, to say this before I wrap this up, yeah, I've been going for hour and a half. Fucking hell. Kante the other night, he looked like a right unit. Like he reminded me of Onana at Villa. And he's the sort of player that you can develop and really push on as a potential top class player. I don't know where he goes in our midfield though. Fucking hell. What I could see happen, this is what I could see happen, is Fernandez potentially moves to the left wing in the future. You have a left wing of Fernandez, Bowen on the right, and then a centre forward, either Wilson or whoever. And then you have Kante, Magassa, and Potts as a three-man midfield. That's a powerful midfield. One thing I am so pleased about, I think we all should be very pleased with this, is that we've actually got a midfield to be proud of. Like, and I honestly do not understand why it's took so long to sort out the midfield when we've had the midfield there in the first place. Right, Potts, we all knew it in pre-season. Right, I remember doing videos on this like this time of night. Funny enough, and there was people like saying Potts is ready, and I said Potts is ready to rock and roll. He's ready to play in this midfield now. And I look at the other players. I look at Magassa. It's going to be interesting tomorrow with Magassa because I'm going to be watching him like a hawk tomorrow. Because if Magassa puts in another performance like that, then I'm going to say, fuck me, we might have a player on our hands. One performance at Old Trafford, great, but we're going to have to see what he does at the end of the season and go from there. But if we can get that midfield cooking, and I do agree with Harry to a point, midfield could save our season. That midfield could save us. It could do, right? If we can stop leaking the goal, so bringing a centre half, and I'm going to be honest, John Clare Todibo is like a man fucking reborn. Like he's like a man reborn, John Clare Todibo. I can't believe how he has turned it around in the space of 5 weeks. Right, I was calling him a crackhead and everything. I said he's the biggest crackhead known to man. Looks like a crackhead, plays like a crackhead, and ever since them comments, he's put in eights and higher out of 10. I thought he was decent against Man United. I thought against Liverpool he weren't too bad. I don't think he done a lot wrong, if I'm being honest. Burnley was good. Newcastle was good. Like he's been putting in some good performances. Like, Leslie's in the chat. Shout out to Leslie. Nuno's played zero. Nuno played 0, 9 points, half the games. All four half good. What is your view? What is your view on Nuno? Do you know what, mate? What do I think of Nuno? I am worried about him a little bit. I am. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit concerned by him because I think he can be a bit too reactionary in a defensive aspect. And I've seen it twice this year. Right, I've seen it twice this year. That I've looked at him, I've gone, what the fuck are you doing? I thought the Bournemouth game is the one what irritated me more than others. But there's 3 games so far which is have irritated me with Nuno, and I've looked at him and I think maybe you're overthinking this. We should just let him play. The 2 games in that 5-day period to go out and put Andy Irving in, drop Matthias Fernandez, don't play Freddie Potts, to then go and play them 2 games in 5 days and put in 2 of the worst performances I've seen West Ham play, I thought was fucking embarrassing, mate, with Nuno. Like, and that I'm going to be truthfully honest here, I couldn't work out what he was seeing or doing. Right, the Bournemouth game pisses me right off because we're 2-0 up, we're in control of that game, and it felt like to me, and I'll stand by it, he chucked it in. And something that Frankie said, who I had on the other week, brilliant comment. He said it's a bit of an insult to Bournemouth to say, you know what, we're going to stop playing. I'm just going to give you all the ball. And it's also an insult to us because when we're 2-0 up, we should be looking to go for the third and the fourth. And I think that's a mentality thing. I stand by this all day long. West Ham have got the biggest mentality problem going because West Ham should be looking to kill games off. Like tomorrow, if we're 2-0 up against Bournemouth, I want us to score the third. I don't want Bournemouth to score the third. And West Ham can't defend Leeds. They just simply can't defend Leeds. So, you know, we need to be, if we're going to go for it, right, we need to go all guns blazing. And I just feel with Nuno, I feel like he's a bit too negative, a little bit too negative. Now, listen, he hasn't got his players. I understand that. He needs better players. He needs time. I get all that. But he's 9 games in, and some of them games, if you pinpoint them, like them games, Leeds, Brentford, Bournemouth, I'm going to say it, the first half against Burnley was fucking awful and all. We go 1-0 down. They're all over us. I just feel like with Nuno, you ain't going to know more until probably January, right? Because when he does bring in a few of these players that he's going to want, then you're going to see how it's going to work. But he's working with 3 other managers' players here. That is basically what it is. He's working with Moyes' players, Lopetegui's players, Potter's players. So you're asking a man to come in and that's 3 different styles, by the way. You got Potter, that's possession based. You got Julian Lopetegui, that was like back 3. Yeah, I mean, with wing backs and fucking shit. And you got Moyes', which was sort of low block, hit teams on the break. That's where the problem is, mate, if I'm honest. And I do worry about him. I do, like, and I listen. I do watch a few videos all around the scenes, right? I do, because I like to see if they're seeing what I'm seeing, right? And obviously, when people say about Nuno, I do get it. I do get what they're saying, and they say like about him fucking up situations. And then what it is, you've got 2 sides of the coin on this. You've got the side where people go, well, you've got to be positive, like and his players, like we don't know. I know we ain't got his fucking players, but I'm looking at what he's doing in that 90 minutes. Then there's the other side of it where he's very grinding out results. Now, for me, he's a grinder, the geezer, right? He will grind results out for you. He's not the most flamboyant managers. He isn't, and it proved it the other day, right? The moment we went 1-0, Kilman's on. He's gone with thingy. But I'll tell you what really pissed me off with Nuno, what really done me was the back 6 against Bournemouth. And there was a brilliant comment. I'm going to get to a few comments in a minute. There was a brilliant comment on Twitter from young Alfie, right? It was West Ham United Alfie, I think his name is, on Twitter. And he turned around and said, teams think that their form's turned around once they play West Ham. But what the real thing is just that we're shit. And that is so fucking true. That is so fucking true. Like, Bournemouth haven't been great. Bournemouth haven't been great. The other week they play Sunderland, they go 2-0 up, lose the game 3-2. They drew with Chelsea the other night, or today I think it was. Sorry, So there is you got to look at it. You got to weigh it up. James, do you think we'll play the same team, drop a quitter, keep Kilman on the bench, need someone who's paced on the left? I think uh, Diouf needs to get closer to the players one on one. I think he's playing Paqueta, mate. My problem is tomorrow, which is funny, really. In 12 hours' time, we'll be back here again. But Lucas Paqueta's going to have the game of his life. And I think it is a dangerous game what Nuno's playing here. And this goes one or two ways. It either becomes a masterstroke from Nuno, where he goes, fuck me, right? He's got into him, he's taken him into a world-class player. And tomorrow we're all celebrating. Or it goes the other way. Now, if it goes the other way, he's going to be copping some serious flack. Because the first thing that will happen tomorrow, if we lose the game, and if Lucas Paqueta doesn't perform, will be, why are you playing this geezer when he isn't playing well and his mind's not on it? That will be the first thing that people will be coming out with straight away. And I know that so much so because that's exactly what I will be saying tomorrow. If Paqueta turns up, starts the game, isn't in the game, I can't keep listening to this bollocks that he's this super player and everything when it's a team sport, it's not an individual sport. And I feel like I think Keith said it earlier on, which was a great comment. He turned around and said that Nuno's setting himself up for failure here. It either goes 100% one way or 100% the other, and that's it. I hope he's fucking right. Ideally, if West Ham get there with a draw, Lucas Paqueta has a half decent game, nothing will be mentioned. Not one thing will be mentioned because people will be thinking, right, we've got a draw, it's positive, we move on to Villa. Right? What the fuck are you going to do next week against Villa? A team that he was looking to go to, but then he wouldn't surprise me if he turned up in that game. So, you know, will Bowen play? Will Bowen play? Limping after the Man United game? Yeah, he'll play, mate. He'll play. Uh, no draws, wins. Uh, I'll take a point tomorrow, mate. I would. I look at it from, you got to understand something, yeah? I'm just going to say this before we come to the end. You got to understand something. I look at it from a betting aspect. And from a betting aspect, I look at going to the Amex. If I was to lay money down, I just don't see West Ham winning there. I just simply don't. And so then it breaks down my probability then. My probability is basically Brighton home win or a draw. I think a draw is not a bad result tomorrow. Um, I think if we go 1-0 down against them at their gaff, right, it's a completely different ball game. Yeah, because they're very good against us and their fan base always up for it. I fucking hate this team. I really do hate this fucking side, mate. Brighton, they're such a bastard against us, mate. You think we will survive off a draw? I think I'll tell you. Like, I'm going to round this video up in about 5 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to say this to round this video up. My scenario is this: I think West Ham need just to get to January to try and be as close as humanly possible to Leeds. Right? I don't look at Forest because I don't think Forest will fall apart. I think Forest will nick results and win games. Right? Leeds, whoever finishes above Leeds stays up. That's it for me. Right? So whoever finishes above them will stay up. Now my scenario is this: is that we have to make sure that we're as close to Leeds as possible without taking a huge dent in the goal difference. The Villa and City games are two of the worst games West Ham could be playing in the next 2 weeks. Having the third place team and then you've got the second place team in a space of like 2 games back to back, like one home, one away. The goal difference is a little bit of a problem because if we go and lose games, we're going to have to lose games 1-0 or 2-1. Right? We can't lose games 3s and 4s. That's one thing that can't happen over the next few weeks. And that's the thing I'm concerned about it. Because people go, oh, you know what? right? We need to concentrate on ourselves. But I'm looking at it from a betting aspect, right? The betting aspect is we're going to get rolled in them games, right? Especially against Man City at the Etihad. We're going to lose 2-0, 3-0. Right, we'll be lucky if we fucking get a shot on target at the Etihad. The Villa game at home, that wouldn't surprise me if that ended up a fucking draw with West Ham, right? And we need a win. We need a win somewhere. If West Ham was to turn up and beat Villa next week, I'll be fucking over the moon. Because I go, right, we beat a decent side. Like, that's what it is. Every time we play against a decent side, right, we just don't seem to perform. So, you know, we are getting points from losing positions. Let's score first and put the pressure on Brighton. I completely agree. I completely agree. Which is a good thing because it proves that we're fighting all the way to the end, right? That's the one thing I will say. It means that we're fighting to stay in this league and we're going to give it everything, even for 1-0 down. I think that's 8 points, if memory serves me right, from losing positions. Newcastle, Burnley, Everton, Manchester United, which ain't bad. I would like to see West Ham be a bit more on the offensive, though, and looking to try and kill these teams. But I've always said that the 3 games that are going to decide it for me: Fulham, Brighton at home, Wolves away. Them 3 games are the ones where we will know where West Ham are at. Because by the time we get to them games, I don't think West Ham beat Villa. I don't think West Ham beat Man City. So where we are right now, whatever happens tomorrow, we're either going to be level on points with Leeds and Nottingham Forest, or we're going to be behind by a point, maybe 3, whatever. So we have to beat them teams after the Christmas break. And if we can beat them sides, then we've got half a chance, right, to get out of this shit that we're in. But it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. I'll be happy to walk over a draw, but it's going to be a tough one. See, I completely agree. I really do. I really do. Mate, I tell you what, these streams go well quick when you're on your jack, I must admit. What we got? Let's have a look. Oh, I've read that one. So it's like walking the plank and hoping that the lifeboat is in the water. Yeah, I know, mate. So fucking Sullivan ain't fucking driving the boat. Right, people, I'm going to wrap it up there. I will see you in 12 hours' time. I'll be here for the live watch along at 1:45 UK time. Live watch along after full, and then the player ratings in the evening. To say this, we just have to see what happens tomorrow. But it's a big day. It's a big game tomorrow. Can't stress enough how big it is. And if we can get a win tomorrow, then that'd be great. Smash a like on the video, goes a long way. And I'll see you tomorrow. West Ham United, don't let us down. Peace.